Okay, fantastic. Guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to have all of you here today. This is a first. This is our official launch of the Get Corporate Ready Playbook, right? The Career Playbook is something that is going to really change the way in which you feel confident and start preparing for the world of work. As I said, this session today, guys, we are going to be spending some time just articulating what the Career Playbook is and why we as Get Corporate Ready are doing this today, right? For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Bohlale Paile, and I started Get Corporate Ready really just with the mindset of ensuring that, after 14 years worth of experience, I started Get Corporate Ready just really with the mindset of how can I continue to add value to graduates that are consistently going into the university space, consistently, getting their degrees, but we are still sitting here with a phenomenal unemployment rate in South Africa, right? And for those of you that know my journey, know my career, I've spent 14 years, more than 14 years, in a corporate space in various industries. And a large part of what I do and the work that I've done over the 14 years has purely been within the graduate recruitment space, graduate development space. And I fell in love with it, right? Graduate recruitment, graduate development, young talent as a whole is something I absolutely love doing, absolutely passionate about. And so as I thought about, when COVID came in, and I thought to myself, sure, all of us at home, I'm not going to be able to be at university. I'm not going to be able to see and interact with graduates, with colleagues, as well as I would have before. What could I do differently, right? So Get Corporate Ready was sparked out of what can we do differently and how can I ensure that we're continuing to engage with people and continuing to add value based off of the experience that I have had over my career, right? So over the past 4 or 5 years, we've developed Get Corporate Ready as a platform, which is really designed to help graduates and young professionals transition confidently from university into the world of work. But it doesn't just stop there. It also assists young professionals as a whole and professionals as a whole, allow for you to really start gaining the confidence, start building a brand that says, I'm ready to take on my career. I'm at the forefront of my career and I'm taking ownership of my career, right? So Get Corporate Ready as a platform really is bridging the gap, because a lot of you, as you know, academically, when you're at university, they just teach you theory, but no one really prepares you for the world of work. So Get Corporate Ready really just bridges the gap between academic achievement and real world success, right? And the idea around it, most of you will have joined us on YouTube, because that's actually where it all started, right? Creating a YouTube channel where I share a lot of the tips and tricks and tools that allow for you to really elevate your career game. Because getting the job, guys, is just the start, right? And getting corporate ready is exactly what is going to set you guys apart. So that's how Get Corporate Ready started. And today I really want us to take a step back, right? And do a little bit of a reality check. When I think about graduates today, I see how 75% of graduates are struggling to land their first job, right? I said this earlier. It's so important that we realize that, even though we've got thousands of graduates that are coming out of various universities, so many of them are sitting at home with a degree in hand, are sitting at home not knowing where to start, are sitting at home applying to hundreds of different roles that are available for young people and still not being able to land their first job, right? That is the reality of what it is that we are facing today. A lot of employers, these are people that are colleagues of mine, people I've shared stages with, people that I've interacted with, are saying that, our biggest struggle with really just getting the best talent for our organization is that firstly, we just see such poorly written CVs, consistently poorly written CVs. And also, when people do come in for interviews, then the lack of preparation is just astonishing, right? So even though we've got this huge number of graduates that are struggling to land their first job, we have an even bigger number then that when they do get called for interviews are not prepared. Another stat that I wanted to share with you today is that soft skills, guys, are becoming more and more valued for companies today than they were 5 years ago, right? In South Africa alone, there was a stat that was done in January, which showed that 80% of most job adverts and therefore job offers required you to have more than one soft skill, right? And a lot of us guys, as graduates, I think, and as young professionals, that's something we don't focus on. We think that just because we've got the paper, just because we've got the qualification, we are set to go. But no, have you sat back? Have you thought to yourself, what soft skills have I developed over the time that I was studying? What extracurricular activities or part-time work have I done to enable me to develop soft skills so that I am more attractive to employers, right? That's what we need to be asking ourselves today. And more than that, guys, we live in such a digital era. And I find that, LinkedIn itself also just reports that 85% of jobs in today's era are filled through networking. And most of this networking now happens online, guys. And yet, a lot of our young professionals don't even optimize LinkedIn. This is the reality that we are sitting in today, right? This is the stats that we are facing on a day-by-day basis, guys. So the question I want to ask you guys today, on a scale of 1 to 10, each of you, I want you to tell me in the comments, on a scale of 1 to 10, how prepared do you feel for the corporate job market? Whether you're a first year entering into the world of work or whether you're someone that is already been working, how equipped and prepared are you feeling today? Duduzi is saying a 7 out of 10. Fantastic. I love that. I love that you're feeling 7 out of 10 prepared, right? In my opinion, 5 out of 10, right? Guys, we're going to get a range of numbers here. Swongile is saying 2 out of 10. Guys, preparation is really what sets you apart in the corporate game, right? And the reality, as we've mentioned today, is that, if we are not aware what it takes to prepare so that we are not falling into the stats that I'm showing you today, if we are not aware what it takes to prepare, we are going to continue to just be a stat. And I'm sure all of us today do not want to remain a stat, right? So this is the reality that we are facing. And to be honest, guys, I think when we think about what the struggle is for most of you today, which I think, most of you can attest to, the struggle is real. So never mind the stats, but the reality of actually being in the job market today and the reality of actually being the person that is looking for a job. The biggest struggle that I've seen so many people face is firstly that they actually don't even have clarity on what they bring to the table, right? Most of you can't even define your value. A lot of times when you step into an interview and the first question they ask you is, tell me about yourself. Yeah, a lot of you are just starstruck. You don't know where to start. Your first question is, where do I start? What exactly do you want to know, right? And so a lot of us don't even have clarity about what value am I bringing? Why did I study what it is that I studied, right? And so if you can't define your value, how can you even convince someone sitting across the table from you whether to hire you or not, or whether to differentiate who you are against other applicants that are vying for the same role, right? A lot of you are probably sitting at home, and I know this because when I engage with a lot of graduates and young professionals, you guys are sending 100 applications everywhere, right? Applying to anything and everything that says graduate, intern, entry-level job, marketing, finance. It doesn't matter anymore. We are just applying, right? That's generally the reality that we are facing, right? And that's the struggle, guys, because when you send through 100 applications and then at the end of that, you hear zero. You hear absolutely nothing. That's when we sit back and start questioning ourselves, right? Is anyone even reading this? Is this going into some dark hole somewhere, right? That is the struggle that a lot of you are facing today. And for those of you that are lucky enough to even land an interview, the last thing you want to hear after an interview is, we'll be in touch, and then never hear anything after that. Weeks pass and the silence continues, and it starts hitting harder than even the rejection itself. These are some of the common struggles that we hear from our Get Corporate Ready community today, right? And what ends up happening is that you start comparing yourself to other people. How is it that I was sitting in the same lecture room with my friend here and they landed a job? They landed a job in 3rd year. Why am I still struggling? Right? So now we start comparing ourselves to other people. We start comparing ourselves to the LinkedIn notifications that we see. I've just started my new job. I'm so excited. Right? And that precisely is when imposter syndrome starts kicking in. You already don't feel like you deserve to be getting the kinds of roles. You are struggling continuously. And that's what makes you continue to play small, right? Guys, these are some of the core realities and struggles that our community face on a day-by-day basis. So for those of you that are here today, most of you have said, 7 out of 10 prepared, 5 out of 10, 2 out of 10 prepared. Which of these struggles do you believe is holding you back today? Are you someone that's been in interviews? Those of you that feel like the interview struggle, just comment interviews. Those of you that feel like I can't even define what it is I'm looking for in my career, comment clarity. Those of you that are struggling with imposter syndrome, as is right now, comment imposter syndrome. And those of you that continue to apply and hear absolutely nothing, comment 100. Yeah, I'm calling you the 100 gang, the ones that just apply to hundreds of applications, but end up hearing nothing, right? This is real, guys. The struggle is real. Most of you are saying my interview, right? Others are saying defining what I bring to the table. Guys, these are the things that I know for sure. When I say I've had 14 years worth of experience with graduates, trust me, I've seen thousands of graduates come into the workplace, struggle to get applications in, struggle when it comes to interviews, struggle once they've landed the job. I've done it. I've seen thousands and thousands of them, right? And not just within legal. A lot of you know me through the legal industry. But guys, before that, I cut my teeth in investment banking industry. Then I went to a top 4 bank, right? Where we hire everything from IT to risk to finance to investment banking, right? And then legal, and then continued thereafter. So what I'm speaking about, guys, I'm speaking about real life experience that I have seen with my own 2 eyes. And this is what has sparked the start for Get Corporate Ready. And absolutely, the key lever to why we've started the Career Playbook. I know you don't know what it is yet, so hang in there because I am going to get to it, right? But for those of you that are continuing to comment 100, right? Those of you that are applying to hundreds of applications, guys, and not hearing anything back. Today, we are going to solve that for you. Yeah? So now that we know what the struggle is, the key gaps that we have identified as Get Corporate Ready are as follows. Like I've already said, a lot of you have not been taught how to market yourself. You know your degree. You know the contents of your degree. You've spent 4 or 5 years at university. But no one teaches you how to market yourself. No one teaches you after university, then what, right? And because you don't know how to market yourself, that answers the reason why you don't know how to articulate the value you bring to the table. And let me tell you something, guys, without a clear career story, you end up blending in instead of standing out. You end up being one of thousands of applications for a particular job and not hearing anything back. We're going to address this in the career playbook today. The second thing, when I speak about CVs, right, those of you that are applying to hundreds of places and not hearing something back, I promise you guys, at the end of the day, sometimes it boils down to your CV. How you've put your CV together. Some of you don't care to look at some of the basic things that are important in developing your CV, right? All that your CV is that it's a list of tasks. It doesn't showcase impact. It doesn't showcase who you are. But how can it showcase who you are if you don't know who you are and you can't articulate your value, right? And so when we know the stat that recruiters spend 7 seconds on your CV to determine whether I want to continue reading this or not, today we're going to address what are those things that are important in the CV development phase. And when I speak about CV, I'm talking about cover letters as well, right? Those two things go hand in hand. We need to be building the kind of CV that grabs attention, guys, and not one that gets ignored. Now, more than that, some of you have commented around interviews being your biggest bugbear, right? A lot of you are walking into interviews unprepared. You know, when I run workshops across different organizations, one of the big questions I ask when I'm speaking about interviews is, at what point do you guys start preparing for the interview? And I promise you guys, more than half of the hands that go up, people are starting to prepare the night before. And trust me now, the night before is too late. And it doesn't help if you don't know what to prepare, where to start preparing, right? So if you guys are walking today into interviews unprepared, lacking clarity on why you want the role, then employers are not going to be able to pick up whether you're the right candidate or not, right? Employers are wanting to see your personality in an interview. They're wanting to see that you're prepared. They're wanting to see that you're a problem solver. They're wanting to see that you know the value that you bring so that they can make the hiring decision, right? And lastly, guys, as I said, today we live in a global era. In today's world, your LinkedIn profile, guys, is your living CV. Your CV lists the basic things that are supposed to be on there, but your profile is, what did you do last week? What are you interested in? What networking events are you going to? But if you're not keeping that live, when a recruiter then goes to see your LinkedIn, to see whether is this someone that we're wanting to see, they're not going to be able to see anything, right? So we're not leveraging our presence. And therefore, we continue to be invisible. And therefore, opportunities continue to pass us by. Guys, I know there's a lot that you can resonate with right here today. I'm sure some of you are sitting there saying, hey, yeah, no, my CV needs some help, right? Or my LinkedIn profile is something I opened up 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and I've never been back to LinkedIn. The strategies we're going to speak about today, guys, are exactly what's going to help you, right? And because we've identified these gaps, I want to introduce to you the Career Playbook. Guys, in the Career Playbook, this is going to be the answer to the gaps that we have spoken about today. In the Career Playbook, well, firstly, the Career Playbook is an online platform. I'm so excited to be introducing this to you guys today because myself and my team have spent months trying to figure out what is the best platform to use. Who's doing something like this in the essay context? Couldn't find anything. Who's doing something like this internationally? What platforms are other people using internationally? How can we stay ahead of the curve, right? And as we did some of that research, we came across a platform that we have now built the Career Playbook within this platform, right? And just to talk you through the Career Playbook itself, which is the course, because listen, there's more than just the course in this platform, right? But just to speak through the Career Playbook, we've gone through the gaps that we spoke about. We've gone through the struggle. We've gone through the stats, right? And so the Career Playbook today, guys, is the solution that we are presenting as Get Corporate Ready. because the Career Playbook is really a step-by-step system, which is designed to help you guys get ready for the world of work. It's designed to help you show up with confidence. It's designed to help you communicate your value. And all of these things are the things that are really going to make you competitive in the job market today, right? And so as we thought about building the Career Playbook, we thought, let's build it around these 4 key pillars. First one being personal branding. Second one being interview readiness. Third one, CV development, right? Which includes cover letter as well. And lastly, your online presence. In the CV development aspect, guys, we go through exactly what it is that you need to have in your CV in order for you to get noticed. So it's not just another list of responsibilities or another document that we've thrown your way. No, we've actually gone through how to ensure that you are making your CV stand out. Also, we've given you tips around how to make your CV ATS compliant, ATS friendly. For those of you that don't know what ATS is applicant tracking system. These are systems that big corporates are using today to filter through applications that have come in. And guys, even more than that, we've gone a step further and said, never mind giving you the information. We've given you templates, ready to go templates that I've curated personally. I've curated for you guys CV templates that go hand in hand with a cover letter template. So whatever template you use, both your cover letter and your CV look professionally curated, right? That's what you find in the Career Playbook. And when we speak about interview readiness, guys, we've taken the time to really just take the guesswork out of interviewing. Guys, interviewing is actually not that difficult, right? And I'm saying this because I've been on the side of being interviewed, but I've also done thousands of interviews, and I have used that experience to really articulate for you guys in the interview section of the playbook what recruiters are looking for, what you should be thinking about as you prepare, what the STAR method is and how to use it in the interview, right? Those are some of the things that we've gone through. And more importantly, how do you own the room with confidence? Confidence comes from preparation, guys. And in the Career Playbook, we have gone to lengths to ensure that we're preparing you. For those of you that don't even understand what personal branding is, this is where you start learning what your value is. You start articulating what your value is. So we take you through step by step. How do you start articulating your value? How do you start understanding what are the things that I should be asking myself to understand what my value is, to understand what I bring to the table? Because once you understand that, how you write your CV changes and how you show up in interviews changes fundamentally as well, right? Because ultimately, guys, the reason you're not being seen is because there's nothing unique about your application. That's the honest truth. There's nothing unique about your CV. It sounds generic. And when you get an opportunity then to come and interview, there's nothing unique about what you say. The personal branding module of the Career Playbook is exactly what's going to help you articulate this today. And then more than that, digital presence, like I've said already, guys, being able to build a LinkedIn profile that recruiters actually find. Are you using the right keywords? When they come onto your profile, what does your profile look like, right? Do you have a selfie or do you have no picture? I know most of you. If I was to ask you today, do you even have a picture on there? A lot of you are just these gray blank profiles, right? There's nothing there. So these are some of the things that we have articulated in the Career Playbook so that we're able to really help you guys. It's a step-by-step guide, a step-by-step process. There is no way that you will not know what to do in all of these sections because we've taken you through it step by step, right? So these are the things that you're going to learn in the Career Playbook. Now, you may be asking yourself, why does that matter, right? Well, I want to get to a point where I'm asking you guys today. Imagine, put yourself in the position where you imagine a world where your CV doesn't just get seen, but every time you apply for a role, you get the interview. And then the difference is, do I want to take the role or not? Right? I'm sure a lot of you are like, Bohlale, is that even a reality? Guys, it's a reality. I've seen and interacted with tons of graduates that are sitting there with 2 to 3 applications. I mean, not even applications, 2 to 3 job offers. And they come to me and they're like, Bohlale, how do I choose? Where do I go? Right? That happens. And it hasn't happened just to one person, guys, it happens consistently. I've seen a lot of people that have been in the position where they are struggling to choose. Now, imagine that was your situation, right? Imagine that as you walk into your interview, and every interview you walk into, you're walking in there with a calm confidence because you have prepared from A to Z. You know your story. You know who you are, what value you bring. You've come prepared. You have a list of questions to ask. When they ask you, do you have any questions for us? You've researched some of the recruiters already. And how you introduce yourself to the recruiters makes a mark, makes a difference, right? Imagine walking into every interview room, calm, confident. And as you are speaking, you can tell in the room that people are drawn into what you are saying. People are nodding, people are smiling. You know it's going well, right? And lastly, guys, imagine a world also where you are being sought after. This happens. It's happened so many times. It's happened to myself as well, right? But if you were to go into my LinkedIn profile, I'm present. I'm there. I post. I've got a picture. I've got a narrative, right? That is how recruiters come to you. You can be in the type of position where you are hunted for a particular role, where you are sought after for a particular role, right? And I know this has happened because so many times, actually, so many times, I deal with a lot of graduates that will tell me of international job opportunities that they received. And I'm like, where did you even know that role was? Did you apply for it? No, I didn't apply. They came to me on LinkedIn, right? Now imagine HR, recruiters, professionals are reaching out to you to find out if you're available, to find out if you're on the market, right? And not the other way around, where you are searching all the recruiters possible and DMing every single one of them to say, hey, this is who I am. Now you're marketing yourself in the DMs, right? That's what a lot of graduates actually go through. So guys, this can be a reality. This is why we've curated the Career Playbook, right? So whether it's your CV being called every single time when you submit an application, or whether it's you walking into interviews calm, confident, or you being the one that's sought after, imagine a world where this is your reality. Because this is what we've curated. And this is what we had in mind when we started to build the Career Playbook. This is exactly what I had in mind. I imagined a world where graduates were consistently able to be prepared, to be connected, and being able to start landing the kinds of jobs that they have worked hard for, right? You guys are not spending time at university just preparing for the sake of, right? We're not just there getting degrees and qualifications just for the sake of, no, we want to be employed, right? Which of these options feel good right now, guys? In terms of CV, interview, being the one that's sought after, which of these feel good to you, right? Because it makes such a difference, guys, when you've built a personal brand and you are being sought after for opportunities. I promise you, it changes the game. It changes your confidence and it changes the narrative around how your career is built, right? So it's so important that you know that we are going through this and we've thought through this as we've built the Career Playbook, right? But these are nice life problems. That would be a nice life problem, right? Being the one that's sought after. Yes, why not? Why not? Guys, I don't remember the last time I applied for a job. That is my reality. And that can be your reality. And what I'm trying to say is, don't think for, oh, because Bohlale has so many years experience, that's no. As graduates can be found and sought after even on the platform, right? Walking into an interview calm and confident is something that is a game changer, because I promise you the way in which you show up in the interview ends up being the reason they have called you back for either a second interview or they've called to make an offer. So if this is the reality that we have curated the playbook under, let's go through what the playbook actually is about. Now, you'll see on the site here, we've given a little bit of an image of what you'll find once you join the platform. The Career Playbook on its own, guys, as I've said, includes so many aspects. You'll see on the top there, it says Career Playbook, Visibility Playbook, the Influence Playbook. Visibility and Influence Playbook are things to come, right? That is now when we are leveling up. We've got all our basics correct. We've got our CV down. We've got our interview readiness, right? We know how to prepare for an interview. We've got our LinkedIn down. Now you've landed the job. Now it's about, okay, how are you showing up, right? The visibility playbook is going to speak about that, but we're going to launch that a little bit later, right? And influence playbook then is just a game changer. It's really about elevating you into leadership potential, right? That is what is to come. But today we speak about the career playbook, right? And in there, guys, as I said, ready to use CV and cover letter. We take the guesswork out of it. Interview confidence toolkit, right? These are real questions, real answers. We're giving you scenarios. We're giving you different templates, different methods in which you can go about answering the questions that are important, right? A personal branding roadmap. As I said, step by step, how do you define your value? How do you communicate it authentically? How do you attract opportunities that align with your career goals? Because ultimately, guys, I'm sure you're sitting there and thinking, I don't want to just land any job, right? Some of you may be desperate because you've been unemployed for a long time and thinking, Bohlale, any job will do. But no. The reality is that you don't want to land any job. You want to land the job that speaks to the things you want to do. You want to land the job that pays you what you believe you deserve. You want to land the kind of job that is going to be a career stepping stone for you to start elevating you for the roles that you aspire to go into, right? And for those of you that were commenting and saying, I want to be seen, I want people or recruiters to come after me or to seek me out, we've then also included the LinkedIn optimization blueprint. From your headline to the types of posts you should be making, you learn how to position yourself online. You learn how to build visibility. You learn how to attract recruiters without even applying, right? These are just some of the things we touch on in our career playbook, right? How are you guys feeling about this? Does this excite you? Is this something that you feel like, yeah, where has this been all my life? Because I promise you, one of the key things that a lot of people that are already working will say as they interact with Get Corporate Ready is like, I wish I had this in the beginning of my career. Where were you guys in the beginning of my career when I was struggling to make it, right? I was like, guys, Bohlale wasn't there. Now I'm here and now I am going to do this, and this is going to be a game changer to all of our youth, to all of the young people, to all of those that are struggling. Maybe some of you are already working and just feeling stuck in the job that you're in, right? The Career Playbook is going to help you reposition yourself, reframe yourself for the kind of role that you want to go into, yeah? And so that is what is in our Career Playbook. And why it works, guys, is that when you start being able to do all of the things that we have spoken about, it starts to give you the competitive edge, right? A lot of you know the narrative that, the job market is competitive. The job market is not, a lot of you will say, there's not enough jobs for all of us, right? But the reality is that there are jobs, but are you positioning yourself well enough for those jobs, right? The Career Playbook is the answer to the gaps. It closes the gaps that already exist currently, right? So the things that employers are saying are holding them back from hiring graduates, the Career Playbook closes that gap. It starts to turn theory into action. That's what the Career Playbook does, right? And how does it do that, guys? It gives career clarity. It helps you start understanding, using some of the tools that we've given. It helps you start building your confidence to go from someone that's just applying to someone that is hired. That is why the Career Playbook works. And as I've said, guys, this has been built from years of practical experience. This is not something I have thumbsucked. This is not something that has just been put together. I've used AI to put it together. No, no, a lot of people can do that. But you must always ask yourself, the person that has curated this, what experience do they have? How have they navigated the space? How have they helped graduates land the kinds of jobs that graduates are wanting to, right? So always ask yourself, where the source of the information, who is the person behind it? And I'm telling you today and guaranteeing that, guys, 14 years worth of experience having worked at Investec Bank, Standard Bank, Bowman's, Transaction Capital, We Buy Cars. These are big name brands, right? It's not some small time organization where there was maybe like, 10, 15 people. No, I've worked for big organizations that have hired mass graduates in the market, right? So all of what we've put together in the playbook has been built off the back of that. So that should be a thumbs up for you guys to say you can trust the information that's in there. But guess what? Because I'm Bohlale and I like to be extra, I told you guys that we sought out a platform that I haven't found any South African organizations or small organizations using it, right? And so I went all the way to the States to find a platform, but I also just didn't want to give you guys the playbook. I said to myself, but how can we create a community of people, right? And so the platform that we are hosting our career playbook on also is a community building platform. So when you jump into the career playbook today, you are not just getting the modules that we've spoken about, you are getting an opportunity to join a vibrant community of ambitious professionals, right? You're able to join a community and see real-time growth, the type of community that allows for a level of support, where people are sharing wins, where people are tackling challenges, where people are tracking their progress. Guys, most of you know that sometimes motivation is not enough to keep you going, right? Some of you may start out excited and then at some point it dwindles off. This is a community, guys, that you are able to plug in and see real-time progress. You're able to see how far people are getting. There's a leaderboard. It's all super exciting. I'm going to get into some of that a bit later. This is also a community where we are going to be hosting workshops, webinars, continuing to provide career resources. Guys, this is the career hub that you are searching for. You may not know you're searching for it because there isn't one that exists in this manner. But I promise you, this is where you are getting access to real-time career mentorship, support, and progress, right? So these quarterly or monthly live sessions are going to be hosted by myself. At some stage, we are going to start inviting some guest speakers as well. But this is for the influencer playbook, the influence playbook, right? And so these are things, guys, where you can have a library of practical toolkits, templates, but you also get to plug in, right? So by being a member on the platform, you are getting access to continued development, continued growth. And not just that, on a weekly basis, the team will be sharing weekly insights, inspiration, career tips, right? And exclusive guidance whilst you guys are building a network of like-minded professionals. So as much as this is our first launch, we did a soft launch last week, right? To our inner community. And already we've got graduates that are on there. We've got people that are currently studying. We've got people that are currently working within their first 2 years of working. We've got someone with more than 10 years work experience in there. Imagine being part of a community of professionals, of people at all different stages, and being able to build a network of people that you can say we belong to the same community, right? At some point when we start running events, you get to interact with people across different industries. That's the beauty of what we've built in the career playbook as well, right? So this must be exciting, guys, right? This is something that I'm almost 100% sure doesn't exist anywhere, right? As yet. And so I'm super excited, and the team and I are so excited to be able to present this to you today, because it was born out of, just a real love for being able to assist, to guide, to mentor on a deeper level. A lot of the work we've done at Get Corporate Ready has been on social media, right? So if you catch the post, if not, you don't know. This is a community. This is where we get to plug in. This is where we get to continue to develop. And the important part, guys, is not just telling you what the platform can do for you, but let me also just share with you people that have engaged with our free resources, what that's been like for them, right? So this is just some of the feedback that I get on a consistent basis. And this is from free resources. These are not even people that are in the community, right? So also, I wanted to just update you that I got the job of commencing my articles next year, January. Thank you so much for your videos. They literally asked me all the questions you mentioned in your video. This is someone that just went and binged the YouTube videos that I already have, right? She's not plugged into a community. She's not getting real-time access, monthly workshops or live sessions. This is someone that just trusted the process and said, let me go to Get Corporate Ready and see what's in the community there. Someone as quick and easy as updates. I got the job offer. I start tomorrow. Keep doing what you do. Hi, Bohlale, I was offered the position and I was also able to negotiate the salary I wanted. Your videos helped me such a great deal. Thank you so much, right? This page has helped me grow so much that when there was a time when I was doing live sessions, right? Instagram lives. And I was doing Instagram lives on a weekly basis. And this was just about like different questions you could get asked in an interview. This person attended all the lives. They moved from their first job to the second job in corporate, right? And she says the notes she took just those lives is something she still uses today. Guys, these are free resources. These are not guys that have access to me as and when, that are joining, you know, all the updated, latest workshops. They're not even there yet, right? And for those of you that are sitting at home and thinking, yo, I've been unemployed for such a long time, is this even possible for me? Well, there's someone here that says your YouTube videos helped me land my first job after being home for a year. These are people that bet on themselves. These are people that said, I need to plug in somewhere. I need to go and do the work. I need to go and invest the time in going through the free resources that Bohlale continues to share, and just make sure that I'm ready. This is someone that was sitting at home for over a year, guys, and now they finally have their first job. Guys, what do you believe, what do you think is the value of something like this for you? From a monetary perspective, what do you think the value of being plugged into the Career Playbook that has all the resources, that has the modules that we've spoken about, that has the workbook, that has the community aspect, the growth aspect, the support aspect? Because I promise you guys, my time right now, as I am an entrepreneur and running Get Corporate Ready Live, it doesn't come cheap, right? I do a lot of these workshops for corporates that pay me a lot of money, guys, to come because of the value of the years of experience that I have doing this kind of work, right? 1 hour of a workshop is more than 3K. Just 1 hour of a workshop. I won't tell you the exact amount, but just to give you context. Now imagine you getting to plug into an environment and into a community where you are having access to me consistently. Why? Because this is an inner community that we are building, right? So the value of what we are presenting today, not just the course, but also all the other community elements, is far more than what I'm about to present to you today, right? So let's get into what does it take to get the Career Playbook, right? Let's unpack that a little bit. Just for our initial launch of the Career Playbook, right? You are going to be able to get access to everything I've spoken about for a once-off amount of 781 Rand. Guys, 708 once off is what you get to pay today to get the Career Playbook and access to all of the modules. But the community I was speaking about, you get 12 months worth of access to that community just by paying 781 today. Guys, I don't know about you, but a lot of courses that I have seen online are more than 1,500. I have joined myself for my own personal development. I've joined courses that were 5,000 Rand, that had a community element, that had the modules, that had the resources. Why? Because people go out of their way to put together so much value in a career playbook, not in the career playbook, but in their actual courses, right? I've seen them. I've seen courses that are valued at that much. But because I'm cognizant of my audience, because I'm cognizant of the people that I am trying to help today, this is the amount in Rand value that I have come up with for you to get access to the Career Playbook. Guys, you're part of the first group of people that are going to get access to this. It will not always be this amount, right? Because the beauty of the platform that we have curated the Career Playbook in is that the platform is going to continue to evolve. Next year, this time, what's in the platform is going to look vastly different to what you guys are entering into. Why? Because as we do continuous workshops, we keep adding more career resources. We keep adding more information. And the beauty of the Career Playbook and being part of that community is that we now are going to have some insider conversations. Let's have some frank chats. These are not things that you're going to find on social media. These are not the 1 minute kind of voice notes or 1 minute videos that you're going to catch on Instagram quickly. No, no, no. You're getting access to real-time assistance, right? And so just for today, guys, and just for the launch of our Career Playbook, we have positioned it at only 781 Rand today. Guys, how does that feel to you? How does that number feel to you, right? You're getting access to the Career Playbook with 4 modules in there. You're getting real-time growth support, monthly workshops, webinars, career development tactics, resources, weekly insights. Yeah? These are the types of things, guys, that you are getting access to today. And we have gone through the lens of ensuring that this is something that's attainable, whether you are still studying at university or whether you're someone that is still in the job market trying to get your first job. There has to be an investment element to it. Because research shows, guys, that people that don't invest in their learning don't make it a priority. And we have put so much effort, guys. I've put so much effort into curating this Career Playbook today. And I want you to feel accountable to learning, to the development aspect. And that's why there is this annual fee, once-off annual fee to give you access to all of this, right? So you today, guys, can claim access to your playbook by just scanning this QR code that we have, or alternatively, you can decide to visit the platform, and that is at school.com/get corporate ready. Guys, I'm excited. I'm so excited because, you know, off our soft launch last week, we've had people join the community and just already start getting plugged in. We already have a leaderboard of people that are like, hey, this person has done this many modules, has completed these many things, right? Remember, I said you get to track your progress. So this is what you get to do. And I'm so excited to see the people that are going to bank on themselves today, people that are going to invest in themselves today, because those are the people that are going to be sending me messages saying, Bohlale, I landed my first job. I've been unemployed for 2 years. I landed my first job. I went for an interview and I immediately got the job within the same day. Those are the people that are going to have the stories, that are going to have the transformation, right? So guys, today is an opportunity for you to be able to plug into the Career Playbook, which has been curated just for you. Now, if 781 is not an investment you feel like today, once off, here it is, right? I've given another option. Guys, I always like, hey? Like, I really think about you guys. I'm always thinking, okay, but for those that can't afford 781, how else can they continue to contribute, right? And so if you can't do that, I've given a monthly opportunity for you to be able to invest, right? So you can also today plug into the Career Playbook, plug into the system by committing to a monthly amount of 86 Rand. Guys, this is a steal. I'm telling you now, and trust me, this is not a representation of the value you are getting. This is our first launch. We are wanting to get as many of you guys in there because we know the value you're going to get. And because it's our first launch, this is the starting package. Like I said, people that start joining next year already, these prices are going to definitely be changing because why? We're going to keep upgrading the game. We're going to keep upgrading the value that is in the community. So for those of you that are wanting the monthly option, you definitely have the opportunity to plug into this on a monthly basis and you get access still to everything, right? The membership platform, access to the continuous tools, the updates, the support, and as well as the career playbook. So this is where we are at today, guys. And what you'll find is that when you go onto the actual platform, right, you won't find the Rand value. Remember, I said I went out of my way to seek out an international platform. So what you're going to find is that it's a US dollar amount on the platform, but it all translates to the numbers that I've given you today, right? So if you are going for a once-off, I'm going to pay this once-off upfront and get access to this for the next year and not have to think about paying for it on a monthly basis, you are going to get that at 781. For those of you that are wanting to plug in on a monthly basis, guys, I know most of you go out and have drinks and have cocktails with your friends, and you definitely pay more than 86 Rand, right? So don't tell me you don't have the 86 Rand to plug into your career advancement. Something that's going to allow for you to get the kinds of jobs that you're wanting to get so that you can continue going out with your friends. You can continue going to events. You can continue living the kind of lifestyle that you are wanting to lead today. So guys, this is how you're going to plug in. This is exactly what the Career Playbook is going to cost you today in 2025, right? And for those of you that have plugged into the community, right, and have been part of the community for some time, you'll see, guys, that, the feedback and testimonials are always continuous. People are consistently sending me messages saying, Bohlale, what fantastic work. I've got interview sessions. This is the feedback that I got. I've been successful with this. I've been successful for that, right? People give me their real-time experiences after they have gone for the kinds of, preparation tips that I've given on the free platform, right? One of them saying, get corporate ready is like a guided angel that is helping me shape my life into the corporate world. And this video, this person was commenting on a particular video that has helped them understand where their gaps are, what they lack, right? And that's what that has helped them continue to focus and gain confidence, right? People are constantly sharing just from what it is they are gaining from the free resources that they are getting. So guys, what we've curated in the Career Playbook is a first. And I promise you, if people can gain all of this from watching free insights, imagine what you today can gain from the Career Playbook, right? So we're excited because, at the end of this, guys, what you are getting is immense, right? What you are gaining is access to a new life, is access to a new career, is access to being able to provide not just for yourself, for your families, for your siblings. I know a lot of us have family at home that are also looking at us thinking, when are you going to start working? We've invested in your studying. When are you going to start working, right? You wanting to go back and be the person that is able to assist at home, that is able to get yourself living in the spaces that you want, that is able to move out of home and have your first apartment, that is able to own your own car. All of these things are possible, guys, but it all starts with investing in yourself and investing in your career. So in summary of what the Career Playbook is today, guys, the Career Playbook gives you everything you need to be able to stand out and have a personal brand, to create a winning CV and cover letter, optimizing your LinkedIn profile, and being able to walk into interviews feeling so prepared with a level of clarity and confidence. But more than that, the ongoing workshops, the real-time support, the community that keeps you growing long after you have invested in the Career Playbook and that you have landed the job. As I've said, guys, this is just the beginning. From next year, we're going to start launching what's next. I've landed the job. I'm here now. What is next? That is where the Career Playbook is now going to start being a game changer for those that invest today and form part of the community today. So your next step today, guys, is really just ensuring that you grab a copy of the Career Playbook. Don't wait, right? Your future employer, guys, is waiting for you to start showing up, is waiting for you to start being active, being visible on LinkedIn, is waiting for your application, one that is perfectly curated, one that has soul, one that has a personality, right? And so your future employer, guys, is already searching for someone like you. That is just the honest truth. So today I want us letting go of imposter syndrome, letting go of the narrative that there aren't enough jobs in the market. No, no, no. There are enough jobs in the market, right? You just need to position yourself for those kinds of roles. So that's what we wanted to present today, guys. And all I wanted to end off with today is saying, guys, this is your moment. This is your moment to ensure that you are going to start 2026 on a different foot completely, that you are going to start elevating your game, that you are going to start landing interviews with the kinds of organizations that you want to be working for, that you are going to be like someone who's already been using free resources, saying, I was even able to negotiate my own salary, right? Imagine being able to just plug in on a random Thursday, a random weekend. Bohlale is doing a webinar around how to negotiate your salary. Plug in, right? And if you've missed it because you're in the community, there's a replay. Watch it when you get the opportunity. So the beauty of this is that, guys, it's a self-paced opportunity for you. But there's so many elements that call for you to be engaged on a weekly basis and call for you to have a level of accountability to tracking your process and to landing your first job. So I thank you guys so much for being able to be here today on our webinar. Thank you so much for engaging. I know I haven't been checking all the chats or the comments as lately, but I know that this is going to be something that is going to be a game changer for you today. So make sure, guys, that you are plugging in and that you are scanning this QR code to join the Get Corporate Ready community today. Alternatively, visiting school.com/Get Corporate Ready. Thank you for your time, and I can't wait to see you in our community. For those of you that are here live, hang in there because we are going to now go into a little bit of Q&A for those of you that have any questions for us. But we're going to stop the recording for the guys that are now in this particular presentation.